Our guest today is amazing Alvin Sloan. Woo!
Hi, thanks for having me.
How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing well, thank you. My first time using a ring light setup. It's very interesting.
Oh, nice. Do you like?
It's nice, yeah. I don't do many Zoom calls,
What did you say?
but I have these, so I got to set them up.
Okay, okay. So we are three. You and me, and we will silent about
Yes,
unfair
exactly.
So,
protect your
Alvin,
career.
you've been writing and making movies.
Do you think
met
men
you
in this
in
industry
your
are
movie.
just
Since you were a kid, do
as
you remember the
harshly as
very,
women?
very, very first story or film idea you ever created?
Shucks,
Would
the
you rather
very
be
first one,
respected than
that would be going all the way back to elementary school. I wrote a lot back then. The first, let me see, the first film I made was at UNC. It was called How to Steal a Library Book. It was a fake documentary about stealing books from the library. So that was sort of my film origin. In terms of stories, gosh, I wish I could remember a good one. I wrote a lot of Indiana Jones. I guess it would be considered fan fiction, but it was just me as Indiana Jones. But in terms of filming, that documentary about library book theft, it was a very incisive look into the problems of library book theft. When I was 19, was my first real film.
Oh, nice. 19. Very nice. What made you fall in love with filmmaking at such a young age?
Well, I would say I was in love with films from a young age. Um, and it's really only recently that I really started to fall in love with filmmaking. And a big part of why I like it is how difficult it is. I really enjoy how impossible it is just to make even the simplest scene. It really activates something in me that wants to makes me want to finish it. Um,
Yeah.
so, but so yeah, it was very scattershot my earlier years, I guess. Other than working on the student television station at UNC, but really in the last few years, as the technology has gotten so good and so inexpensive, um, I've really been able to figure out how to do it full time. Really.
Very nice. And you are very talented. I can say that. And you can do everything alone.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
That's wow. But you need people to, to be more
Oh,
not stressful.
right. Yes.
Yeah.
Lowering the amount of stress would be great. And it's definitely a goal of mine.
Everything okay, don't worry. So were there any filmmakers or movies that inspired you early on?
Early on, yeah. It's so hard not to sound pretentious when you talk about this. I guess the movies that really inspired me were the ones where I could see the how the filmmaker was working. The movie called Evil Dead 2 by Sam Raimi, who's a big time
Sorry.
filmmaker now, but it's a very low budget horror film. But his camera work is amazing, and that as a teenager watching that, it you can just see how much care is put into the act of using of telling a story through filmmaking. I remember there was like this was pre-internet, and so I found one other person who liked the movie, and he was like, "Oh, it's so good. It's like they're making it up as they go along." And even as a teenager, I was like, "No, there's obviously a lot of thought and care being put into this film, and that as a young person, seeing that was really inspiring and inspired me to make movies. Really, for an earlier generation of filmmakers, it was the movie Citizen Kane, which is a great movie. I love it. But for me, it was Evil Dead 2 for sure.
Wow, that's very interesting and very you don't hear very often this answer.
That's true, I guess. But no, a lot of people love it. A lot of people love that movie. And again, Sam Raimi, He's a great director.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, you drink coffee too. I have coffee, so
I inhaled
I need
coffee. Yes,
something.
exactly. That was what I did right before I came in. I hit it right over here on the counter.
I'm sorry, I'm a little bit sick, so but um we love coffee. Greeks people, we love coffee.
Oh, really? Okay. I don't know that much about Greek culture. That's good to know, though.
Oh
I
yeah,
would definitely fit in.
I will tell you more private.
Okay. All right.
So, your first completely short film was How to Steal a Library Book at UNC that you told us. So,
Yeah.
what was the story behind that project?
It was for a film class, and it was supposed to be a straightforward documentary. And I sort of did my own thing, but it turned out really well. And I actually met some cool people through that who I'm still friends with. A fellow named Rick who worked at the student television station at Chapel Hill, actually broadcasted on the student TV station, even though by that time I was not no longer a member of the of the student body. But and I ended up winning an award, which I still remember. It was really, really cool for best editing. I've still got the trophy somewhere. And I'm still in touch with Rick. In fact, Rick is going to be watching this new movie. I've, I'm just in the process of finishing. I want at least a few people to watch it just to make
Oh,
sure it makes sense.
wow,
Um,
very nice.
but but yeah, that was a fun experience, and that was my first time because again, this was all pre-computers. Really, I remember the student television station was just getting its first digital video camera. You know, it was a big thing at the time. And using a nonlinear editing suite. Even that one I had to edit on old VHS, two VHS VCRs hooked together. But the ability to edit in precise locations I'd never had before. So being able to do that for that movie was incredible and a really just a learning experience and making me realize that that's what I wanted to do. You know.
Wow. And how did it feel seeing your film shown on student television? How do you feel?
It was cool. I wasn't a student at the time, so but some people I knew saw it and they were happy about it. And yeah, it was really cool. Took me a while to follow it up, but here I am, and I still enjoy making movies. I've learned not to star in my own movies, though. It's much better. It's much easier to find people who want to act than it is who want to work behind the scenes. And I've
Yeah,
met so many cool actors that way. So that's my preference from now on.
it's okay. We talked about that. I can help you anytime.
Oh well, thank you, Katerina. Yes. You seem very busy, though. I sometimes feel guilty asking people to help.
Don't worry. We will talk about later.
Okay, sounds good. Greek coffee and filmmaking, perfect.
Of course. You see my
Yes.
people there? Greek coffee, and talk about business, short movies
Hmm.
and future movies.
Yeah,
So, all the time I say so. This is my word here in
oh,
US. You
that's okay.
also won best editing for that film.
Hmm.
What did the my gosh, recognition?
Hmm.
Do you understand
What
what
did
I
they?
mean?
I'm sorry.
Okay, it's not your fault.
Sure,
It's
sure.
my fault.
No,
Um,
I understand.
what is mean to you at that stage of your life?
Oh, it was just a really nice recognition, and that it's sort of a you're if you don't have much outside affirmation for what you're doing, it's always nice to get that. And that's also what's filmmaking in general, just having people who are willing to read my scripts and interested in working with me is always really cool. Just because it's just a circular thing with myself most of the time. Um, uh, so yeah, anytime someone wants to give me an award, I'm always very happy.
Of course, and you see that your work worth it.
Oh yes, for sure.
Nice. Looking back now, okay, looking back now,
Mhm.
what did that first film teach you about filmmaking?
Hmm. That's another question that's hard to answer without sounding pretentious because I'm always learning stuff about filmmaking. I guess the biggest thing I've learned is just the pragmatic side. For years I would write movies that I would have no possibility of practically making because due to budget or number of actors or whatever. And now a few years ago, I just started every single thing I write. The first consideration is tomorrow, can I go out and film this? And that's really helped me um, consistently make movies. Just not having that barrier. It's the thing about making movies. You start off writing, a big crowd scene. Outside of a festival. Oh, wait, now I have to find a festival. Now I have to find a crowd. Okay, so it's two people in a car outside of a festival. Oh, now I have to find a car. And I was like, oh, okay, it's just one person in a room then. That's better, much better. So, so keeping that in mind as I write has been the single most helpful thing in terms of figuring out how to make films.
Okay, okay. Um, you mentioned it that things change when digital cameras became more accessible in your late 30s. How did that shift impact your creative process?
It just made it doable. Especially for someone who doesn't have money, the fascinating thing about watching movies before the digital age, no matter how good or bad the movie was, if it's an independent movie, someone is just mortgaging their financial future to make this movie. They're spending $700,000 just on film stock alone. The ability now get to have the chance to get that sort of quality at effectively zero. Once you have the camera, you don't have to buy anything else. Uh, is life changing in terms of filmmaking. It doesn't make the actual act of making the film easier. You have to what goes on in front of the camera is always the most important thing. And assembling that and writing it and figuring that out is still the most difficult thing. But removing that incredible financial burden is, it's revolutionary, really.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, of course, it's been revolutionary for everyone. That's why there's a huge glut of micro budget movies. But for me, it allowed me to start making movies in a way I had not been able to before.
And this is very important because today we are here for you, only for you. So it was a revolution for you too.
Oh yes, for sure.
What what were the biggest obstacles you faced before that moment?
Ooh, that's tough.
Ah,
Um, I mean, it really just has to be money. Well, money and lack of contact. Again, it's as dreadful as social media is in so many ways. The truth is, I have met all the actors I've worked with through Facebook and
yeah,
Instagram, and being able to just post and connect with people is incredible who are interested in things I'm interested in because I had no way of doing that before, and it was getting some friend of mine who's not interested in movies at all to help me out or
okay.
not help me out. um, but so yeah, I hate to give social media any credit at all, but it has been good in that sense of meeting people who are also interested in filmmaking.
Nice, very nice. What advice would you give to someone who feels limited by budget or equipment?
Right. So what advice would I give to myself? Because I'm
Okay,
limited by budget. I'll just
that sounds weird.
yeah, it's I mean it's never been easier to make a movie, and the best thing you can do is just pay attention to what you like, what you respond to, rather than trying to make something that you think other people will like, because you can always tell when you're watching something whether it's being made by someone who's genuine or whether it's being made by someone who's just trying to pander to either an audience or a style or whatever. So really just figure out what you like first and try to implement that as best you can as you make your movies.
Nice advice. Nice.
And
You,
that's advice I'm trying to remember myself all the time, you know.
okay, yeah. This is very clever and honest.
Thank
That you
you.
say that to yourself too.
Thank you.
You started writing scripts more programmatically, meaning everything you wrote could realistically be filmed. How did that change your storytelling style?
Hmm. That's another tough one. I don't know how it changed. It made, for one thing, the interesting thing is when you're writing, you don't have the gap between how am I going to do this? Like you're really writing as if, oh, I can actually do this. It really energizes you in a way that writing something that's more, you know, theoretical, you know, would. So yeah, it really is a good feeling to be writing and knowing that it's actually possible to make this uh, without the limitations of budget. Yeah, but in terms of, I wouldn't say I don't have enough experience to know how my style has changed at all. You know, it's really just, I mean, I think I do have a style, but I try not to think about my style. I really, again, just avoid that and just think about what I want for the movie as best as possible and worry about that rather than, you know, worry about my signature style, you know.
Okay, okay. But this it is your signature style,
Mm.
I think. You understand what I mean? Yeah,
Yes, yeah, sure.
yeah. Um,
Doing it however possible, my signature
yeah,
style, yes.
yeah, this is your style.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Do you think limitations can actually make a filmmaker more creative?
Do I think restrictions can?
The limitation, the limits.
Limitations, yes. Oh, for sure. That's, I mean, that's, um, lots of people have said that. It doesn't always feel that way when you're being limited, but I do think so. It forces you to come up with ideas. Um, Maybe not having quite so many limitations would be nice, but yeah, there've been plenty of times where just running out of time has forced me to. Sorry,
It's okay.
my gesture, not my. Just running out of time has forced me to come up with a more creative idea than otherwise. I mean, I would like to try not having any limitations and having an unlimited budget, but but until that time, you know, um, I'll make the best of what I have.
Exactly. And you will have the chance to not have limits, for sure.
I hope so.
Um, do your stories come first from characters, themes, or visual ideas?
Hmm. That's another tough one, and it's hard to not sound pretentious when you're talking about it. Um, Let me think. I would say the stories and characters kind of blend together. Really, I don't really come up with a strong character. It's more like a character interacting with a story, and
Mm.
um, yeah, you know, I don't really let the characters lead the story. I consider myself the all
Okay,
powerful creator leading the characters. But yeah, so it's a mixture of characters and stories. That's again because I used to act. In my that first short film I made, I was sort of not just. I think I played all the characters in that, and giving that up, which was 3 years ago. As I met more and more actors, I was like, why am I continuing to want to act? I'm meeting all these great actors who really enjoy it, um, and so being able to think of characters that don't, that aren't me so much, has been really fun and interesting.
Yeah.
Even though all the characters are slightly me, I think,
But
but
have you ever met someone that it would be okay? Oh, I would like to write something for him or for her because it's inspired me. Did you have ever something like that?
absolutely, that's another big benefit of knowing actors. The film I'm working on now, the film I'm finishing up now, It Falls to Me, is sort of an action thriller. The main character is played by Charlie Marvin, who I've worked with for about 5 years now. Just a great actor, really talented musician, very nice guy. As I was telling other people who know Charlie, look, I'm kind of coming up with a sort of action thriller that's gonna star Charlie. Each time I told them that, they would just start laughing, and they think it was the funniest thing. And each time I heard them laugh, I got more resolve to make Charlie an action star, and um, so so that's an example of knowing Charlie and slotting him into this story was very beneficial to me writing the story.
Wow, that's very interesting too. We will talk about
Yeah.
your movie, of course, in a few minutes.
Oh, great. Yeah.
In 2022, you began submitting sub, your short films to festivals and started winning awards. How did that moment feel after so many years of creating?
Uh, well, I guess my first reaction was surprise. It was,
Sorry.
it was very nice to get some affirmation about what I was doing. And many of the actors won awards. Hannah Lawrence won a bunch of awards. She's a terrific actress, and she's someone I worked with. Uh, like Charlie, she's someone who I started specifically writing roles with her in mind. And So yeah, the festivals were wonderful. I didn't actually get to attend as many of them as I wanted to, but it was just a nice a nice feeling to know people want to screen your movies in front of big audiences.
Oh, and you did a great job.
Oh, thank you.
Um, what do film festivals offer independent filmmakers today? What do you think?
Ooh, that's another one. I'm not totally sure I'm qualified. That I think from my limited engagement with them, it's meeting people.
Hmm.
Is
Network.
a big part of it. Networking, and which I'm not the best at. I tend to sort of hide in a corner or something. But that does seem to be a big aspect of them. Um, at least the ones I attended. And again, so it depends on how
Okay.
interested you are in networking and how talented you are in networking. I really should hire just a networker for myself.
Okay. Yeah, I understand. I understand 100%. I can feel you.
No,
Um,
thanks.
your longer short film, the one that got away, was almost
Mhm.
on 1 hour long. Okay. What inspired that story?
It was just a funny idea I had. A woman finds out she was going to be the next victim of a serial killer who's been caught, and it's sort of the having to deal with the feelings of knowing she was about to die, and it sort of sends her into an existential crisis, and then as the movie goes on, it sort of becomes a actual suspense thriller. Um, so it was an idea I had. I wanted to make it as a short film. It kept getting longer and longer until it was sort of a quasi feature. And in terms of learning stuff, uh, that was a big learning experience just in terms of my running times, figure out how to gauge uh, the running times of my story ideas. People kept telling me throughout making the movie, you should just extend this into a feature. And in retrospect, I might should have, but I'm really happy with the way it came out, and I hope to have some screenings of that sometime soon
Oh, yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
Also, and let me know.
Okay, thanks.
But your upcoming film, It Falls to Me, is now in the final stages. Can you tell us what the film is about?
Yeah, it's about a college student who is searching for his missing sister in sort of a sinister city after um, after he suspects that something bad has happened to her, and it sort of follows the sort of events and calamities that occur during his his investigation.
Okay. Yeah, I read it. I had the opportunity and the chance to meet you and collaborate with you, and everybody wait for this.
Oh, thank you.
You wrote it in a way that allowed it filming piece by piece. That's very clever. How did
Thank you.
you structure the story around that?
Well, because there are a lot of, I mean, most micro budget, or I don't know if this is even a micro budget movie, a no budget movie, they tend to have a very small amount of characters in a very small amount of locations, three people in an old house in the woods. So I did intentionally with this one want to get as big of a cast as I could. Um, and the best way to do that was to, and the story lended itself to this sort of method of short scenes with many different people, um, many of whom are on sort of video calls like us, because that allowed me to shoot each side separately. Just because one of the most difficult things about filmmaking is scheduling people.
Oh, yeah.
The most difficult thing about no budget filmmaking, at any rate. So I was able to do that, and it's funny. I need to look at. I came up with a sort of a master schedule, a year and a half ago. I'd like to look at it now because my memory of it kept splintering into either smaller and smaller chunks, as people moved out of town or couldn't make it. So it took a bit longer than I meant to, but I got it all done, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's amazing watching something that was shot over such an extended period just flow very naturally through each scene. So,
Yeah, and I told you this is very clever. And with this way, you can help someone else who has the same problem with you or who doesn't have so many money. So he can do that
right, yeah,
and he can make it.
yeah.
Um, what do you hope the audience will feel after watching the film?
Well, uh, I hope they watch it all the way through. That's always a good thing. Um, I hope they have an exciting time and enjoy the suspense and mystery. I'm trying not to. I don't want to give away too much, but I hope it's an exciting, enjoyable experience for them. I got addicted to watching my movies with people in the theater. When I first started, I would just send people YouTube links. When they asked about my
Oh,
films, and I'd glance over them, and they'd be watching the movie on their phone. I'd be like, oh, that. A few last year or the year before last, I got to go to a festival for the one that got away and watched. I was sitting in the back and watched everyone watch the entire movie and how wrapped up they were in it the whole way through. It was really cool. And so I want to, have as many screenings of this one as possible, just to get that experience for people.
and this is very nice because nowadays, the people, the most of them, they stay for social media or for platforms, but I believe like you that with the people, when you connect with these people, the audience, it's amazing.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I mean, I try to do it myself too. Seeing a movie in the theater, it forces you to just sit and watch it in a way that you don't always get to do at home. So
And you have very soon your screening.
yes, end of this month, I'm doing the cast and crew screening, and I'm going to show it to a few people before then. And I do hope to have a big official premiere as well, probably in a couple
Congratulations.
months. Yeah.
Congratulations again. And finally, what keeps you passionate about storytelling after all these years?
Let's see. We hope that I'll eventually make money from it. It's a big,
Yeah.
but no, I just I love. I mean, I've thought about this a lot, and it really is just something I do. I've always done it, and I don't see any reason I'm not going to keep doing it. And the last few years, I've been able to do it uh, in a more public way with more people, which is awesome. So I just hope it keeps expanding because I'm not going to stop. So it would be great if more people can watch my stuff and I can continue to produce things.
Oh, yeah. You will definitely be successful and
Oh,
keep going. What are you doing? And you never know. Even the journey is very important.
oh, sure, yeah, yeah, for
So
sure.
now,
Okay, okay,
I'm sorry. Now we have our first game.
okay.
Yes or no, or choose between two. Are you ready?
Let me take a sip of water just so I don't.
Okay, me too. Ah,
Okay, so this is just yet. These are just yes or no questions that I'm answering.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You have
Okay,
to be very fast.
okay.
Okay,
Let me sit a little closer so I can hear.
okay. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe anyone can become a filmmaker today?
Yes,
Do you write better late at night?
yes.
Have you ever rewritten a script more than 5 times?
Oh, for sure. Yes.
Do you prefer directing more than editing?
Yes.
Do you believe limitations make filmmakers more creative? You told me that. Yes. Have you ever filmed a scene that didn't go as planned but turned out better?
Yes.
Do you enjoy film festivals?
No.
Would you, would you shoot a film? Would you shoot a film entirely on a smartphone?
Oh, yes.
Do you believe independent cinema is becoming stronger today?
Ooh. I'll say yes. I have no idea though.
Okay.
Yeah. If it's just yes or no, I'll say yes.
Have you ever acted in one of your own films? You told me. Yeah.
Yes.
Would you like to make a big Hollywood film one day?
Yes.
Is there a dream project you still want to make?
Yes, for sure.
Have you ever collaborated with someone who you didn't like so much?
No, of course not. I've
Okay,
liked everyone equally.
okay. So you collaborate with everybody that you collaborate. You like the people?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
No.
Okay, you are the first person who didn't collaborate with someone who don't like. Because, sometimes we are on set with some people that we don't like so much, but we have to collaborate.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I mean, it depends on what you mean. I've never had any bad disagreements with anyone. You know.
Okay, that's nice. It's because I
Yeah,
asked this question is in general. You're the first person who told I like them.
yeah, sure.
That it was the first game. You did amazing.
Oh, perfect.
Very fast, and it wasn't something difficult. You see? The second game,
Mhm.
repeat it. Okay. I will say something
Okay,
in Greek, and you will
okay.
repeat my line.
Oh,
Okay. Are you ready?
yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Let's see. Mm. Μ' αρέσει να μιλάω με ανθρώπους.
One more time. Is that against the rules?
Are you ready?
Yes.
Μ' αρέσει να μιλάω με ανθρώπους.
Maresa Lebanon Nananthropos. I'm sorry.
Don't worry, one more time. I will give you one more chance because you were cute and kind person. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Last chance. Μ' αρέσει να μιλάω με ανθρώπους.
Maresi Namalon Nananthropos. I tried to do it. I tried
Almost.
to do it. I tried to do it confidently that way, even though I had no idea what I was doing.
But very well.
Okay.
Almost. Okay, so μ' αρέσει
Now,
να
do
μιλάω.
you tell me? Oh, do you tell me what I was saying now?
Of course, but first you will guess.
Um, I'm 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 talking to an incredible and talented interviewer. Is that what you had me say?
You are. It's close.
Oh, okay.
It means because I have the word humans in the phrase. I love I love to talk to the people, to people. It means.
Mhm. Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah. But you were very close.
Okay.
Thank you very much for nice this nice discussion that you we had and nice interview. Would you like to tell something that before we close?
No, I just had a great time. I was extremely nervous about this. My first ever interview. So I really
Oh,
appreciate you having me. Yeah.
congratulations
Um,
again, and I hope that you will have more and more and more.
yeah, hopefully. I had a
Thank
great
you
time.
very much. And of course,
Thank you.
this is Santorini, my island.
I was wondering about that. That's wonderful. Looks
Yeah,
beautiful.
I hope we can create movies there one day.
Yeah, that would be great. And you got to tell me about that. Tell me about Greek coffee.